Well, we've arrived at Friday, the 16th. And the smiler for the day is this. Why is it impossible for a citizen of Las Vegas to be a carnivore? Because they're Las Vegans. Las Vegans. Boy. The God's Little Instruction book today has this comment. Ability will enable a person to go to the top, but it takes character to keep him or her there. Proverbs 11:5 says this. The righteousness of the blameless makes a straight way for them, but the wicked are brought down by their own wickedness. I do believe that too, by the way. The short story I have for today is entitled Small Talk. This is by Don Ian Smith. A few years ago, I attended an important national conference. There were many fine speeches by brilliant men, and I was inspired and I was challenged. I returned home a few days later for a hunting trip with some friends. On this trip, there was time in the evening, highlight of the big game hunting, a long evening where you could sit by the campfire and share your thoughts and feelings on a very intimate level. For me, I know there was nothing I heard at the national conference that was as important in terms of giving my life real meaning as to what I heard said and what I spoke around that campfire. My friends opened their hearts to me and I could open my heart to them. That kind of talk is small, like a diamond, and very, very precious. As I grow older and my time on this earth with my fellow men grows shorter, I am sure that the high point of communications is not one man talking to millions in some great broadcast. It is one man talking to another man or a couple of men, heart to heart, mind to mind. It is possible to be so concerned with great speeches that we miss the meaning of great speech. We become so concerned with human relationships that we have no time for relationships with humans. How many of us are so interested in big things? Things too big to comprehend, too big to achieve, that we lose our ability to possess lovely little things. Things that can bring out and can be ours for the taking, and that can change us for the better. Some of us are so interested in great talks between great people that we forget to have meaningful little conversations with ordinary folk like ourselves. A father is so interested in the comments of some world-famous commentator that he doesn't hear the comment of his own child about something that he could share with his child. Summit talks have their place, of course, but our lives are desperately in need of talks on lower levels, face to face. Sincere talks with people in the living room, the dining room, in the bedroom, around a campfire. It is easy for us to have our eyes and ears so fixed on big business and big bureaus and big explosions that we do not hear and see the little sights and sounds that make our life a pleasure and can save us from despair. I have a poor memory, and as I look back over the life, there is much that I've forgotten. Much that I learned in college and seminary has been forgotten. Many of the great speeches I've heard I've forgotten. But I am thankful that I have not forgotten the first time that I found the nest of a red-winged blackbird. I rejoiced in the music of these birds as they mated and nested in the cattails along the ditch not far from our farm. And then I found that neatly woven nest of grass and horsehair and the pale blue eggs with the black lines and dots. I remembered how I marveled that a bird could be so clever. And to this day I marvel at the mystery that comes close to that kind of mystery of life. If I knew the mystery of the bird's ability to weave the nest of his kind without ever being taught, the mystery of the homing instinct of the migrating waterfowl, the mystery of the salmon returning to their spawning ground 1,000 miles from the sea, I would know the mystery of life itself, and I cannot know that. But I don't need to understand it to perceive it. And I don't have to understand it to be blessed by it. It is enough for us to know the mystery of creation that's in a bird's egg, in a newborn calf, in a little creek as it winds its way from the glacier to the sea, or the little girls playing hopscotch on the sidewalk. How great is the poverty of those who do not take the time to see those things and talk about these little things. How fortunate it is for us, for most of us, that the true riches of life are found in the common little things. If greatness were necessary for happiness, of course, very few of us would ever hope to attain it. But God, in His infinite wisdom, put true happiness not in greatness, but rather in smallness. When's the last time you thought about that? So it can be attained by anyone who will seek and find, knock and enter. These little things that bring happiness are scattered all through life, just as wildflowers are scattered all over our springtime hills. Here is a list of a few of these lovely things. The smile of someone who loves and trusts you. The beauty of a mother bird's care for her little ones. New grass coming up on a bare hillside. The fragrance of supper cooking when you are really, really hungry. The fascinating energy of an ant taking home some treasure 5 times bigger than it is. The joy of making something with your own hands. The first words of a little child. The first tomato from your garden. The list is endless, of course. After an evening of small talk with a great friend, an evening where we've watched together the flaming logs of our fire turn to glowing embers, I've often thought of the wise words of the great Englishman Samuel Johnson. Boswell discusses with Johnson the matter of keeping a diary, but confesses to Johnson that he is afraid that he will put into his diary too many little incidents. And Johnson replies, "There is nothing, sir, too little for so little a creature as man. It is by studying the little things that we attain the great art of having as little misery and as much happiness as is possible." Amen. Let us be at prayer. Oh God, our God, we are sustained by the little things, and we are made whole by the little things. I would ask, O Lord, that you be with us and help us to put away our cell phones. Help us to put away all the texting and all the focus on those, and spend more time with the little things. can grow us and help us be full. We ask these things in His name and His grace. Amen. Be with God, and God will be with you.